a little bit better.
All right, cool. So you can get me from the front and profile. Take your pick. So we're talking about the buyer appointment today. Have you guys all seen this? I'm sure this is a reiteration for most of you. I remember sitting in on this class several months ago and talking about this stuff. So what we would just kind of want to talk about and mastermind around is the appointment itself, what it looks like, how you set it up, what your expectations are, what you should be looking for from your customer or your client, and then next steps. So you already have established sort of a semi-relationship via phone or text or email with this person, and this could be the first time that you're meeting them. This is primarily what we're talking about is Boomtown leads or VU referrals, not Sphere, because that's a completely different meeting. So what's that? Yeah.
That's me, okay.
Yeah, you're meeting at the pint room. So what are some of the things you do, John, to prepare for that meeting?
Usually I try to get all their information first, like where they're looking, price range, all that stuff. And
right.
Then, so then once that's all solidified, I like to try to talk to them, maybe about meeting somewhere, Starbucks or Pine Room or something. And then I kind of like to go over expectations, timeline in front of them, and kind of if they start the process of getting a lender and all that stuff, and just kind of talk and feel them out, see if it'll be a good fit.
What do you bring? Anything?
Usually I'll bring my computer to show them kind of how we set up the maps and stuff, and how to search, and kind of what the steps are. That's kind of been working for me.
Do you print out any listings?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Do you bring the buyer presentation? Anybody? Do you?
Yeah. I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I go over it. Page for page. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, depending on how much they know. I work with a lot of first timers.
How much do they know about the process?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So if I don't need to tell them anything, then I won't tell them anything. But if they're first timers, then I'll go through everything. And then even if they already knew some of it, they'll still let me chat.
Right.
Because then maybe they just haven't heard the right information. And I just think it builds a lot of trust and rapport.
Sure. Cool.
Maybe, I guess I'm a little different. I kind of like to spitball it, kind of a freestyle session and talk. And then I kind of feel them out and, see if we're a good fit, and then we can get into kind of the nuts and bolts of the thing. And, I'm always asking if they have questions or anything.
Right.
Any updates, anything like that.
So when you're there,
yeah.
When you're actually there at Starbucks or wherever you happen to be, do you set any kind of ground rules, or not really ground rules, but sort of gatekeeper stuff? Do you like say this is what we're going to go over? I want to get to know you. I want to figure out what you're looking for. I want to answer any questions that you have. I want to show you some properties possibly. Do you kind of outline that ahead of time?
Yeah, I do that a little bit. Kind of a basic outline, but I don't like, again, I kind of just go all over the place.
Right.
So, and then I bring it back, and usually there by the end, I'm like, we're ready to go, and they seem to like me.
Yeah.
Hopefully, so we keep going.
I'm kind of the same way. I'm kind of loosey-goosey.
Yep.
I'll get to know them before we even get together. We have a pretty good understanding of, what they're looking for, perhaps, and who I am and what I can do for them and what their needs are. All of that's usually done on the phone for me.
Right.
I don't know. What's been your experience, Garrett?
Yeah. Typically, unless it's a Boomtown lead that I just want to sit down with them, and then maybe I'm building rapport a little bit.
Yeah.
First.
I've got one of those coming up on next Friday, and it'll be a gal that I'm pretty much, I don't want to say I'm getting her into the car kicking and screaming, but it's been like pulling teeth to get this gal to commit to an appointment, and I'm still not sure if she's going to show, but
That's always fun.
But that'll be a much different conversation than it would be if somebody I have already developed rapport with, and I would have met together.
Yeah, if you've already developed rapport, that's
yeah.
That's easier. Yeah.
I've also learned to call about 30 minutes before the meeting.
Right. Yeah. Right. Before I get into my car and drive to Arvada, are you going to be there?
Yeah.
Right.
Just want to, I'm going to be there.
I don't know how many times I've been set up.
Well, that's my call now.
Yeah.
I used to like, all right, we're good, and then like show up, like, where are you? Like, oh, sorry, I can't make it.
But some people won't answer, and then they'll call you in 30 minutes. Hey, I'm here. Where are you at?
That time I'll
And
go.
you look
Like,
like the fool. So, and you still have to go. It's like, it's
I'll
bullshit.
go if they don't pick up, but if they pick up and say, hey, I'm not gonna make it, you know, I just like to check. That's
Right.
the
Yeah.
basic premise of that. Because like I said.
I had that happen to me once on a Saturday morning. I was supposed to pick them up at a hotel,
Wow.
and I sat outside that hotel for 20 minutes. They didn't answer the phone
We're included.
I
I was
had a
like,
guy
you
do that
jackass.
to meet here. Didn't show up.
at the office.
And then, yeah, and then ghosted me for like a
Oh, I
full
remember that
day.
guy.
And then called me and was like, I was in a car accident, sorry. So I was like, oh, I'm so sorry.
And
In
then-
the hospital, he's like, no, it was just a light fender bender. Like he was totally lying.
Yeah.
So then he reset the appointment and didn't show
And
up.
did it again? Oh my god.
He's a savage
Yeah, I
motherfucker.
remember that
I guess. All right. So how do you guys prod your clients or probe your clients to find out what they're looking for? What questions do you ask?
So over the phone, usually like a boom town or something, they'll come in a general area. Sometimes that'll be right, sometimes it'll be wrong. So you just ask, are you looking here? You know, is this the right price range? Have you talked to this person? Back in financing, you know, kind of the steps, and you kind of go over that. And then usually they'll try to get off the phone, but just keep asking questions about their area and stuff, and kind of go with general rapport on the phone and
Uh-huh.
kind of find out their area and kind of set them up. And then I
What if
try
it's
to
an
go
out of
through the
stater and they have no idea?
Ooh. So they'll usually ask me general questions like I want trees or I want this, I want that. Like, so I'll try to think in my mind, okay, these are good areas. Like, it's always usually like 30 minutes into the city, which is like everywhere.
Right.
So then,
Right.
yeah, like, are you have kids, like stuff like that.
Yeah, do you
Like,
have kids? It's a good one,
further,
right.
Like, where's your job? Like, you want to be close to it.
That's
So
another good
kinda
question.
What I jump into, and then they're still like, I'll pretty much go anywhere. And it's like, all right, well, no, there's like 1,000 houses. So then you get into what's your budget? What's bedroom, bathroom, so then you at least you can whittle it down to maybe 100, and then think like, okay, now I like this area, now I don't, and then you kind of shift it to that.
I'll generally
That
start
can
with
take a month, you know, after that.
I'll generally start with geography.
Yeah.
If they have no idea about the area, it's like, okay, where are you going to work?
Right.
And if they say, well, I'm working at Buckley Air Force Base,
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, well, what's an acceptable commute? And if they say 20 to 25 minutes, I know that I can't put them in
Like what?
Lakewood,
Yeah.
right? Southwest Littleton somewhere. Yeah. And then it gets to, do you have kids? Do you work from home? Do you need a home office? Do you have pets? Do you have an RV? Do you have toys, like a boat or a motorcycle or something like that? So we just kind of get into,
Yeah, do they want land, do they want
yeah,
acre, you know?
What kind of lot?
I want a big ass house with a lot of acres.
Yeah. One of the questions I'll ask is for them to describe the home that they're in now.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
Um,
Okay.
And then, just kind of leave it open and then say, okay, so what do you like about your house? And then what do you not like about your house? What would you like to change?
Right.
I'll go that route.
I like that
I
because
like
that
that a lot.
almost always people want to improve their,
The
Right.
Situation.
so that gives you a baseline to, am I gonna have to temper expectations because the market there in Denver is different? Or ideally, how am I gonna improve the home that they're in?
Right.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, one thing that's tough for that is like some people that don't want a log cabin or like that kind of architectural stuff. You're like, I didn't really like
Yeah, that's pretty.
put that in my search.
Yeah, I can't search for log
You know, I was
cabin.
all right,
Keyword
well, I would
search.
assume they're up near the mountains, okay, but that's too far. So like then you gotta reel it back.
I want a log cabin in Littleton.
Yeah. It's like,
On a half an acre.
I want that style.
Yeah.
I love that type of architecture. All right, I'm just gonna set you up in this area and hopefully something pops up.
Do you guys talk about new construction?
Sometimes the people that are looking, well, obviously if they're looking for it, they'll bring it up.
Do you ever bring it up as an option?
It's part of the client instruction sheet, that's part of the buyer packet that I give them. And so I say if they're interested in a new build, I just touch on it, because some people straight up think that they don't need an agent for a new build.
That's why I always bring it up.
I will bring it up, and then people will be like, no, I'm not interested in a new build, and I'm like, just in case you are, or if you ever know somebody who is, keep in mind, your 100% able to have representation, and people are like, wow, no way, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And so like, at least I give them that little tidbit of knowledge, even if they're not looking. So yeah, I will bring it up, even if I know there's no new builds for what they're wanting.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will always be out in front of that one. I almost got burned by that.
People have lost clients to that, of like,
I actually
oh, I
think
went
we're
into a
back
new
to-
build office and I loved it and I signed their contract. And
Yeah.
like, oh, what?
Yeah,
So, yeah, fuck
yeah,
that.
yeah. I am always out in front of that one.
Is this us for it, or is there somebody online?
Yeah.
Bridget's here,
Bridget
and whoever iPhone is.
Bridget and iPhone?
Yeah.
iPhone, who are you?
I guess I showed this person a couple houses, and one of them they chose was new. Well, they were all new construction, but she went when I showed her. The company said that I was her agent. So
Good.
that worked for me.
That's good.
Sweet. 'Cause-
Some builders won't do that.
Yeah, she got
Right.
super pissed. I was like, I never did anything. I was just showing the house. She said, okay. And then so that's fun. I don't know how they're doing it. They're great. I
So-
love them.
Back in the day, I don't know when it was, probably 10 years ago, I was talking to a guy who was moving here from Texas, and we were in the middle of all of the, I mean, every house we were driving to, we drove past new construction.
Right.
So just in the course of the conversation, I told him, I said, hey, at the end of this, we can go take a look at these new builds if you want. He goes, really? And I said, yeah, absolutely. He goes, you can represent me if it's a new build? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So from that day forward, I'm always out in front of that conversation. For us, with Veterans United, new construction is a really, really great way to go,
Yeah.
because builders don't care if you're VA.
Okay.
They don't care. And you're not competing with, another guy who's coming in. Right.
Mhm.
So I did, I got a Veterans United referral under contract on a new build up in Brighton. And those are the easiest sales ever.
Yeah, because it's like
Easy.
whoever gets the contract.
They do all the
first
contracts.
They do all the work,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is walk them into the model
Yep.
and say, here you go. This
Yeah.
could be yours.
Okay.
And you just let the salesperson do all the
I wish they
talking.
paid off the fixed price.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So fixed price. That's good.
The iPhone is Sarah.
Hey.
Hi, Sarah.
Hey.
Hey. My phone. Looks
All right. Yeah. She probably can't see us. I wonder if she can.
like she's done.
So, yeah, anyway, I always make sure to have that conversation. So, Sarah, if you're listening, always be out in front of the new construction option for your clients. It's a really, really solid option. Those homes literally sell themselves. And there's a ton of them. Yeah, in all price ranges everywhere, really. I just did one at Castle Rock. It turned out to be mid 300s, brand new, walk in the door. So
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, she says she can hear you loud and clear.
I
they,
did one in, this is Castle out here for
yeah,
days.
the Meadows are still being built.
Yeah.
Meridian is still being built. All of that whole eastern corridor 470 is a lot of new construction over there. And then you find pockets in the city too. So always look for that. And so let's talk about that. Where do you go to look for information on new builds?
I was just gonna ask that question.
There is a website, but-
Pulls up some of them,
Yeah,
but I
but
don't know if it gets all of them.
Wrong.
Yeah,
MLS pulled them.
Yeah, if it was an MLS, it's in there.
right. MLS actually has on the drop down where it says new communities, and you can hit that. I don't know how accurate it is because I don't know how many builders are actually putting information in there. Yeah.
Right.
So I usually go to the larger builders like Richmond or Meritage or Shea or Berkeley or Joyce or whomever it is and look there. And then I'll get the community name, because if the community is large enough,
You'll actually go into one of their offices and talk to them, or?
sometimes I'll do that too.
Okay.
Normally though, I'm on the websites.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
richmondamericanhomes.com, and I'll find out where they're building. And if the community looks large enough, typically there's going to be more than one builder in there.
Mhm.
So then I'll drive out and take a look around and go visit sales centers. That's a great way to do some recon though, is just to take a,
website too.
What's that?
what does it say? New homes.
Home source.
New
So
home
I guess you
source?
can search areas for new builds
Nice.
that are popping up. So there's 2554 new homes for sale.
And that's newhomesource.com.
Yes.
Cool.
Tyler told me about it a while ago. Peterson, Marion Homes, Westville, Pillar Homes, Woodside, there's a bunch of different companies. So,
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, I have it.
So yeah, but if you're out and about and you notice, a trailer, look for, if you're in a new construction area, look for the tall American flag. That's where the sales center is. Go there, see what they have in inventory, tell them you're bird dogging for an out-of-state client, ask for an inventory sheet and a base price sheet.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then just keep yourself educated as to what's going on there. It's always a great option. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is bring the client in there. They sign all the paperwork. The builder does all the work. You just go to closing. It's great. So at this point in the buyer appointment, according to this sheet, it says introduce yourself and the team. I would actually have put that way ahead of this. But then after that, we're talking about what questions do you have about the buying process. So what typically pops up for first timers?
For all the first timers, just say, I don't even know.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, great, I've got a whole system. That's where the booklet comes in.
That's where the buyer presentation
Yeah.
really comes in.
Because I
Yeah.
really do have a lot of first timers.
Could ask a lot
That's where
about,
my business comes from.
What specifically do you get asked?
From first timers?
Mhm.
Like nothing after I go through the book.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll go through it page by page, and then after each page, I'll be like, did you have any questions over anything I covered? Or they'll ask questions during the little bits.
While you're going through it?
Mhm.
Yep.
And then afterwards, I'm like, do you have any other questions? And they're like, no, we pretty much covered it.
Awesome.
That's the point of it. So I love that tool. Yeah.
Cool.
It's made my buyer appointments just solid. So, and then if they've already bought before, it's usually not even like, it's like a buyer's appointment, but it's like half the time of something else.
Yeah,
They
if it's-
already know what they're doing, they know what they're looking for.
You're typically meeting them at a
More
property.
experience.
Yeah.
So, and I'm starting to get a little bit more of that, but most of my official sit-down appointments are gonna be first timers.
Right. Yeah.
I was getting questions about what the lenders are looking for
Uh-huh.
and how they're gonna get.
Earnest money.
Yeah, well, no, more like, what are like, do I look at my bank accounts, do I go my credit?
Yeah.
Do this, do that, so I always get questions about that.
So they're looking at everything.
Everything, any money you have, just the whole of everything.
They wanna know where it came from, and they wanna know where it's going.
Like, well, they're gonna do soft pulls, hard pulls, and all this stuff, and it's more about money for everybody, obviously. It's a
Right.
big step, and I usually get, that's usually the first question that I'm like, what can I afford, how do they, if I figure that out, how to go through that.
Have you guys all had a VU referral yet?
Not from this little batch, but.
Right. Has most of those guys been aware of earnest money?
Yes,
Mine, I say no.
No?
well, they just think it's a solid number, I said it's negotiable.
It is negotiable,
So,
yeah.
and you can put,
Know that it's
give it
negotiable.
100
Yeah.
bucks now.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
it may weaken your offer if they don't accept it, but usually there's nothing else going on, but will.
Yeah, and I would say, a year ago, 2 years ago, for sure, if you were a veteran of using a VA loan, you were going to get,
Shit on.
yeah, pretty much.
Excuse my
To put it lightly.
We're all burnt out.
Yeah. You weren't getting accepted, especially if you only had $100 earnest money. But
Yeah. Just 500 over.
Right.
I try to get it up to 1,000.
we used to write, I remember writing offers with no earnest money and a seller concession, and they would get accepted.
Really?
This is in 2010, 2009, when nobody was buying anything, nobody was moving anywhere,
Right.
and nobody had any money.
Yeah.
So,
I had somebody say they were gonna pay $5,000 of VU's closing costs and was fine with $1,000 of earnest money, and then he ended up qualifying because of HOA. So it
I've
was
got
like
somebody like that now.
perfect motherfucking scenario, and then it was the HOA was like $100 too high.
I've got somebody like that now. We are $60 a month off of the number.
Yeah.
Where they need to be.
It is, yeah, he's like tight on it too.
Yeah.
Like, they even did a price reduction because then I'm still not selling, and so I went back to the lender and was like.
Is that enough? Is that
"Anyway,"
enough?
He's like, still too high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one I did, I
So
got a
frustrating.
VA client and I got a concession level earnest money.
Seeing a lot more of that now.
Yeah, it's during the winter, it's supposed to have been sold.
2 years ago, you didn't see that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even write the offer that way. You couldn't.
Actually, 2 years. Something, 2 years.
Yeah.
It's the first deal, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Wow. There's
Send me
exceptions
an
to every
offer, I was
rule.
like, here it is. Like, all right, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So at this point in the buyer appointment, you're pulling them up on Boomtown and setting up e-alerts. But I would assume and again, this buyer appointment is for someone who you've pretty much never met. I would assume most of us again, have talked to this person and set them up on an e-alert already prior to the meeting. Well, the system is going to do it for you.
Yeah.
So I would just clarify and tell them, okay, this is what I have you at.
Yeah, I was like, clarifying, is this working, is this popping up, what do you want to see, like, are these the right houses?
Right.
I did do one where I turned the computer and build it out next to each other, but that's.
Yeah, no, that's great. And actually, it also helps, I think, if you didn't print any out to go ahead to the MLS
Yeah.
and say, this is what you're going to see.
Yeah.
What does this look like to you? And really dial in their search. If they want a main floor master, or, you know, I've had people who didn't want a main floor master because they wanted to be on the same level with the kids.
Yeah.
So anything that you can do to really dial in that search, so that you're not wasting your time. You know, as soon as they walk in the door, they go, "Oh, I wanted a fireplace. This doesn't have a fireplace."
Yeah.
So you're just closing the door and walking out. Anything you can do to dial in that search and really nail it down, you're only serving yourself and your customer.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people say, I don't want this, I don't want that, and then you walk in the house, and like, well, it doesn't have that, but I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, then you have a conversation. Okay, what's non-negotiable?
Yeah,
You know, if it's a
exactly.
fireplace,
Yeah.
non-negotiable. Like, for the right house, maybe not.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I was like just trying to like, oh, let's get out there and look, because pictures are great, and layouts are looking great, but until you go and see them,
Right.
sometimes pictures make them look really good, you walk in, it's a complete shit.
Right, and agents are freaking idiots on the other side, not putting stuff correctly. So I tell my people when they're like, oh, I need it to have a finished basement. There's that option in Boomtown, but I never click it
Just put
because
basement.
I guarantee there are houses in there that they have not put as a finished basement.
Right.
Yeah, so it sucks. You're gonna have more houses to look through, but you can go pretty quickly to the basement going with the back arrow.
Mhm.
Be like, not finished, great, moving on.
Right.
So, because I'd rather send you more stuff and then have it be in there than try and put a criteria like stopper on it, whatever the word is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'll
And
say.
then have it not sent to them.
I'll say this to the client. I'll say, I'd rather send you something that might work and you have to sift through it, as opposed to not sending you something that would have worked and
never
you
saw
don't
it.
see it.
Yeah, and then you see it on another website.
Right.
And then you're like,
Why
"What?
didn't
This
you
looks
send me?"
perfect. Why didn't
Right.
you send this to me? Yes,
Right.
that's happened before.
Yeah. So I'll always tell them that. I say, I'm going to cast a pretty wide net and we're going to have to throw some back, but I'd rather do that
I like that.
as opposed to missing out on something that might have worked and you not seeing it.
Yeah, because that is
Yeah, I've had issues with people not being able to like open the, so they don't know how to like get through the Boomtown link. They only see the first couple and I'm like, you know,
Uh-huh.
you only sent me 2 houses. They don't like click through, they see the 2 new houses, yeah, like, click that link and then it'll be up top and say search.
Oh,
Like,
man.
oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
interesting.
I
I've
think- I
either
know
I've
how
never
Boomtown
had
does
somebody
it.
have that problem,
Yeah.
or they just have
Or
a voice
never
to
has.
me.
Yeah.
They
And
just
they
don't, yeah,
had an
I don't know,
option of
like,
6 houses.
they only sent me these 2 houses. I'm like,
It's not flawless, that's
I
for
wish it
sure.
would just
And I
send
don't
them
know
all,
if any
like,
of
here's a
them.
link. There's the houses.
Yeah. Oh, I like the way Boomtown does it. It looks enticing. Because you're like, oh,
Yeah, but
yeah.
people don't realize there's
but
50
people-
houses and then there's 2.
And there's
It's
2.
like a
Think you're a
call.
stupid idiot.
Maybe I'll start touching on that. 'Cause nobody's ever voiced that to me, but maybe.
It's a good touch to make, yeah.
Maybe they just thought.
I have to explain it to them.
She gave
like,
me
there's
6 options.
way more
I like
houses.
them.
Yeah. Hey, I just sent you 29 homes.
If you have hours that you have trouble opening, let me know. 'Cause I'll walk you through it.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's good,
People are like, there's
That's
2
good.
houses.
Great little nugget time.
right? That's
I
good.
know, I asked, like, I'm like, can you send someone to Boomtown about this? It's
Make it easier for the
make it way
consumer.
easier, yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of, here's 2 houses, how about, here's a link, here's all that.
Did you guys set yourself up on Boomtown?
Yeah, I'm in there. I did it from my own house.
I need to do that.
Yeah.
I'm in there like 6 times, I don't know. I keep creating, you know what, because it keeps asking me to sign in and I forgot.
Do you follow up with yourself?
Yeah. Stop. Oh, here we go.
Contact me. Uncle Craig forever.
All right. So how do you close the appointment then? What do you guys do to set it up for the next time, or do you?
Depends on if they're approved or not for my cases.
Okay. Do you get them approved before you meet with them?
Not always.
Do you-
Because
do you-
especially with some first timers, they're scared as shit.
Right.
So like having a lender reach out to them, it's not gonna be the way that I build rapport. So I'll meet with them first.
So you'd rather explain the
Really
process
listen
first.
shit. Yeah, because I'll be the one that I can close well face to face. Like,
Right.
hopefully they don't want to punch me, so we'll see. Which they're only one person I've done. And I still close them, so.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like, "I'll help you." He was like that terrible client I had.
I think I remember that.
But, yeah, so I will just say, okay, perfect, so next steps is to talk to a lender.
Yeah.
And then also on their timing, I'll just be like, and if you guys aren't ready to get officially pre-approved, you can just have a conversation with the lender
Without them pulling your credit.
So
Yep.
then that gives us a ballpark number to keep the boomtown sending you things that might potentially work in the future and not really overshooting for stuff that we can't have down the road.
Because the last thing that I'd want to do is to
They
send
send
you the
500.
perfect home
Yeah.
and you not be able to afford it.
So then I'll be like, even if it's a 10-minute conversation, if they're 6 months out, like, yeah, don't have anybody pull your credit right now. But
Right.
just have a conversation, then we can get a good ballpark going. See if there's anything additionally that you might need to do, such as, we just had an experience where if somebody had just opened up one more credit card 3 months prior, they would have qualified for $50,000 more dollars because he just didn't have enough credit.
That's
He has
counterintuitive.
okay
That's
credit.
right,
Yeah.
So they're buying right around 300, they would have gotten up to 350, and we close and hopefully we close in a couple weeks. But we'll see if it gets raised. But if they had just done it 3 months prior, like if they had just met me sooner, then we would have already done this. And
That's
we would be able
crazy.
to get into another bracket, because that 350 mark, we all know is different.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And it opens up so many more
It's not much below
options.
350.
No.
It's crazy,
Or
like
four,
350 gets you so much more of, so they're totally happy going into this house that is a huge fixer upper, and like they're thrilled. It's like, that was really lucky. It could have been like, nope, but I'm not buying, I'm gonna re-sign my lease for another year.
Hey, Bridget, are you there? Sarah, are you there?
Someone.
Hello?
Can you guys hear what Natalia is saying?
Are they typing?
I don't know.
You and video muted the.
Where's the microphone?
Is anybody typing?
Just to Mark's computer.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right. Oh, wait.
Sorry.
That was cool.
Wait, there is a couple of chats here.
Two shot.
Oh, that was from Garrett to everybody.
Yeah, just let people know they can reference the,
All right. What else? What else do you guys do? Do you set up another appointment?
I want the ball in my court for sure, walking out, so great, so next time we meet, great, well, hopefully they've agreed to work with me,
Yeah.
I can definitely ask that, we've established that, in that case, it's easy, like, great, when we go to look at homes, say when, not if, I've had a couple that didn't want to commit on the spot. I said, great, so I'll follow up in a couple days. Definitely want the chance to earn your business. Please let me know what questions you have. I'll be in touch.
Mhm.
But just some way, keeping the ball in my court and saying when I follow up, or if it's a really warm one.
Letting them know that you're going to hear from.
Yeah.
They're going to hear from you again.
Yeah, and if they're really warm and obviously going to work with me, then I'll just start. Great, when you want to ask.
Let's go look.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you guys approach the buyer agency?
I just say it's required by Colorado.
You do it right there.
Yes, I will. Sometimes I'll show houses first, but if they're really warm and they're ready to go, it's like, I just want to get this out of the way, so we can,
Did you bring a hard copy with you?
no. Probably good. Just get this rocket, because I pulled up on the computer, but, I'll send this to you by email, just sign it, and, we'll get out there, so houses is just required by Colorado.
Read paragraph 5.
Yeah.
It outlines it outlines my duties and obligations to you as fiduciary.
It's our agreement is that I'm gonna do my best for you and represent you in every way possible. And, it just has to be signed. We can get going. So.
I always reiterate that I'm never gonna charge you a dime.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
my
a
services are
contract that
free,
Even if
just-
the seller doesn't pay me for some reason, I'm never coming after you for
Yep.
money. Like,
Right. That's in the contract.
Yeah, it's in the
Yeah.
contract,
Yeah.
and especially first timers are like, what? That is so cool. And
Yeah,
I
Love
go-
no clue.
I'm like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, they have no fucking
Pretty
clue.
funny.
Yeah,
Right.
they just think it sounds
You
so
mean
great.
I don't pay your commission?
Nope.
Yeah.
No, you don't pay anything.
I've only have gotten it signed at an appointment, I think like a couple times, because they were like hot and ready to go, and they were like, what do we need to do next? And then
Sign this.
I earned
Sign
a
this also.
business after the meeting, and then, yeah, the husband was like, well, what happens if like we sign this and like something ends up happening between us and stuff? Now they're my best friends.
Yeah, right.
They're literally like, I get drunk at their house all the time. Like, wait, no, like they get drunk too. I'm not.
It's just-
I go over their house and drink all their booze.
Some crazy. Yeah, they come home and I'm always on their stoop.
On my house?
What's
Guys, we're best friends. No, they actually like me. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
But-
usually set an
yeah.
actual meeting because I have to type it up.
But then like I'll lately, I've just been sending it with the offer. I guess so little spiel.
Yep.
Because I have it saved on my desktop where it's
Yep.
like, the congratulations for writing the offer. These are 3 documents that I need. One of them is the offer.
Buyer advisory. Yep.
And they don't even question it. They're
Yep.
like, hey, boom, 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 because I've already earned their business prior to that. So that's been working really well. I know that people have gotten burned by that before in the past. So I try really to like keep up on my people, and I know I should be asking for it a little bit sooner, but it's also just been kind of working out. So it's a little bit of a tricky situation because I'm trying to, you're asking them to marry you, but you haven't even taken them on a date yet. So
It's a nice metaphor.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like, oh,
Behind.
yeah, I'll hang out with them for a little bit and then be like, okay, by the way,
Have you ever had somebody just refuse to sign it?
nope.
I have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In, like, when they were ready to put an offer in or
They
before?
said they would only sign it per house basis, which
Yep.
you can do.
Yep.
Yeah, you can.
So anyone that I
adjust the
showed
property.
them and they wanted to put an offer in, they would went with me, but they went with somebody else.
Yep.
Crazy.
I ended up getting screwed.
So fun.
His name was Charlie Wright.
Fucking Charlie,
I know,
sounds like an asshole.
Charlie Wright.
I don't know.
But Charlie was looking for $1 million houses at the time, and I was
It's always
a,
the ones that have more money.
I know, right? And I
Yeah.
was a newer
They,
agent,
like,
so
know
I
that
I
they kind of hold
I
it
put up
forward.
with it, and I let him
Walk all over.
walk all over me.
Ugh.
And I knew he was working with another broker. So it's like, well, okay.
This other guy showed up at the house that I showed you. Got another agent.
The most terrible clients I had was in 6 different buyer agencies, me being one as well.
6?
6.
Oh
Yeah,
my
because the
God.
lender, I'm surprised this guy.
Did they tell you?
Closed. The lender told me, she goes, you're the 5th realtor to bring me a contract on this person. And
Wow.
she's like, you've gotten him the furthest though, and then I ended up closing.
Good for
It
you.
was awful. I will never put myself through that kind of business again.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I won't
Technically, you
either.
can't do that,
Yeah,
right? You
it's like,
have to
I
have
was
every
just
other
talking to
one get
somebody about it
canceled.
this morning. It is
It's illegal.
liberating to be able to tell somebody
It is.
that is taking away your happiness. He made me cry. Like, not on the phone because I ain't no bitch to the client, but I got off the phone and called Tyler and cried.
Yeah.
Like out of frustration, not because I was sad.
Oh, sure,
I
it's
was
worth it.
angry and mad.
Everybody has their Charlie Wright.
Which are the worst. It's
Yeah.
like, you feel like you could kill somebody in that moment.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Every-
call Tyler, like,
Emotional
please talk
stress.
me down.
Everybody has their Charlie
Yeah.
Wright.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Garrett, what happened to you? How did you handle yours?
Gosh, it's been a while. If they
I
turn
can't
down,
imagine being mean to Garrett.
I just said,
I can picture being mean to me. Like, I'm crazy, but
I think I said, hey, grab me, great, think about it, this will be required if you want to write an offer.
Okay, I'm left it at that.
Yep, and then I said, I haven't gotten burned yet, I think. Then when they, like, okay, well, I want to write an offer, then they were willing to sign it at that point.
Right.
And they signed it, not just for that offer,
Yeah.
they signed it in general, like. so
Good for you.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry to
awesome.
make them just-
Yeah, 'cause
But
it-
I'm sure, I'm sure I'll get burned at some point.
All we know too.
Yeah, we all do.
Just trying to-
Going around.
Yep. You're in
Yeah,
this
you
long
just
enough,
add
it's
it
gonna
in.
happen
If you show me the house and we like it, I'll sign with you for that.
for that house. Yeah.
But I'm doing all this work for you, like, you know, I'm here to kick butt or whatever, you know, bullshit that you say. No.
I really think that it's important, especially for newer agents, to understand what that document is and not to be apologetic about it.
Yeah.
And just say, this is what it is. This is what it does for you. Not only for me, but this outlines what I'm obligated to do for you.
Yeah.
And if
What's
you,
the difference between this house and this house? I'm here to help you.
Yeah,
do
if
all
you-
the stuff for you.
Mhm.
yeah, if you direct them to paragraph 5 and just say, there it is right there. I cannot give your information out without your permission.
Right.
I cannot tell people your motivations. I
Right.
cannot tell them that you're willing to pay more.
Mhm.
Okay?
A lot of duties. but-
Duties and obligations. So,
Tell me about what you do do. Not what you don't do.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's really the only one. That kind of stuff. Got over it.
yeah. Questions about
Have
the
you tracked down
process?
Charlie Wright?
Charlie Wright was
No,
the,
Really right is wrong.
he was the director of operations for the soccer team. What are they called?
Rapids.
The Rapids.
Oh, really?
And
fun.
the last I heard, he left Denver and moved to like Iowa or something to run their club, do something like that. Yeah. But he did give me a referral.
Oh, all right.
He gave me a referral, and that guy turned out to be a freaking gold mine. His name's Steve
Oh,
Govett.
wow.
Yeah.
Charlie Wright.
So Steve, yeah. In Charlie Wright's defense, he gave me Steve Govett. Steve Govett was the general manager of the Mammoth. So I moved him, Gary Gate, a couple players. Yeah,
Dude, that's fun.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that Charlie Wright's legacy was okay, I guess.
Turned out
I was
all
still
right.
pissed when he screwed me, but whatever. Whatever. So, all right, cool. Questions, anybody?
No, I mean, just like always random stuff that comes up.
There is,
So it's
yeah.
like tough to, think that, but it pops up and mention it.
Yeah.
At another time, honestly. Yeah,
Think-
it's like I had some people meet me and they're like, we're interviewing people, and I was like, well, went through everything, and they're like, yeah, they talked on the side, and we'll go. So they skipped all the other interviews.
So this gal that I have an appointment with on Friday is thinking about going with Tree Laura
Oh,
To sell?
to buy.
oh.
What?
Do you know that they give back half of the buy side commission to the buyer?
No.
Half.
Really?
So they're working on 1.4.
That's insane.
How do they feed their family with that is my question.
I don't, volume,
Well,
I
salary.
guess.
Volume,
Industry
yeah.
volume, yeah.
Are they salaried?
Yeah, trailer, a lot of
So
trailer.
are
I don't know how
is that
they-
the objection that you're gonna
They
use?
work 9 to 5 and.
It's the objection that I'm
Like
gonna,
the rebuttal that you're gonna give her is like, okay, because I love that, like Gigi told it to me one time, that Jackie taught her, and was like, okay, so those
Well, it's on the
people,
south side.
they make, from the, it works for the buy side too, like if they're
Well, they're keeping your
making
listing out there to get buyers.
1.4 or whatever, yeah, but if this is on the buy side, but if they're only making 1.4, they still have a family to feed, or themselves at least. How are they gonna be working in your best interest?
What
when they're
type of
just pushing
agents-
for a closing?
what type of agent do you think that they're able to attract
Mhm,
paying them that low of a wage?
Yeah.
That was my response to her. I said, what do you think? I mean, typically Tree Laura hires newer agents because they don't know how to fend for themselves. They don't know how to build their own
Yeah.
businesses.
And all they say is like, you're gonna get this many leads a month, so they just jump on that, and
Right.
that's it, and, yeah.
And as a consumer, you don't know that you don't know that you're going to get passed
And if
off to
something comes up
4 or
that's
5
in the
different
house
people
that's
during this
actually in
transaction.
your worst interest, like if there's an issue in the sewer and a Tree Laura lister would say, that's not a big deal, you should still buy the house.
Yeah.
Whereas you would be like,
Get that
no,
dog out.
the seller's
Repair
fixing
it.
this or we're walking.
Or we're out,
Yeah,
right?
because you're not working for a closing, you're working for them to have something sustainable and
Yeah.
something that's not gonna fall apart in a week,
Right.
so.
Yeah, I guess you can do that, that we're gonna push for the close no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No matter what.
But you don't care if you don't close, you just care about what's right for them.
Right. Tree Laura,
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
jackasses.
God.
All right.
All right.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
That's cool.
Thanks, thank you,
That's
sir.
fun.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Mark.
See ya. How do I stop this? Oh, hit record
Leave
again.
meeting.
End meeting for